The man possessed the ability to travel to another world simply by dreaming, and he even brought an elf wife back from another world to the real world. At first he thought it was just an ordinary dream, but he gradually discovered a pattern. For example, the time in the dream world was completely opposite to reality. As long as he fell asleep at 7 p.m., he would arrive in the other world at 7 a.m. However, once he woke up from the dream, the world inside the dream would stop moving. So although he was an adult in reality, he was only half his real age in the dream world, and even if he died in the other world, he would simply wake up in the real world. Because of this, the man made many friends there. For example, the elf Marie standing before him. Although she looked young, she was actually over 100 years old, and she was a true old tsundere. So the man would often lure her in with boxed lunches. After gaining Marie as a powerful ally, he could explore more dangerous dungeons. Of course, the most important thing was being able to stay with Marie. This straightforward affection was extremely effective against a tsundere. As the two continued deeper inside, they unexpectedly discovered a giant dragon at the bottom of the dungeon. Coincidentally, the dragon was laying eggs, which made it extremely aggressive. Just as the two were preparing to head back the way they came, the mechanism behind them suddenly closed by itself, and the noise woke the dragon up, meaning they were completely doomed. Just as expected, with just a casual breath attack, the dragon burned both of them into ashes. The man woke up because he died, but then he suddenly realized something was wrong. How did he bring Marie back with him? Could it be because he was holding her earlier? After Marie woke up, the man hurriedly explained what was happening now. He thought she would have trouble adjusting, but Marie was extremely excited. She had never seen such a magnificent sight before, and this place was incredibly high up, making her legs weak whenever she looked down. Then the man bought her a set of clothes. Unexpectedly, she started jumping around happily after wearing them. Her happy expression looked just like a puppy, but there were no elves in the real world, so the man specially prepared a hat for her. That way he could go out with Marie anytime. But Marie was terrified when she saw cars. She had never seen such a strange vehicle before. However, she quickly calmed down after being tempted by delicious food. After all, Marie was originally won over by the man's boxed lunches, and now she could even eat freshly cooked meals. After the elf spent a whole day exploring the real world, the man planned to send her back to the other world by sleeping together with her. But the man had one concern before returning, because every time he traveled to the other world, he would appear at the place where he last woke up. This time he would definitely return to the dragon's nest, and he might end up being chased by the dragon forever, trapped here in an endless loop. But after discussing it with the elf, the man learned that the dragon sometimes transformed into human form, and traveled to a town called Osloy. So the man immediately came up with an idea. He then took 2 bottles of beer from the fridge, because he knew Osloy was a town famous for producing beer, so the dragon must have gone there for this reason. Next, they just needed to sleep together and travel back. Seeing this, the man who had never dated before became nervous, but the elf appeared calm and confident, so the man stopped feeling embarrassed. The two fell asleep in each other's arms and returned to the other world again. Just as the man expected, they appeared inside the dragon's nest again. The dragon quickly noticed them, so the man quickly explained that they meant no harm. They simply wanted to see the dragon eggs, and hoped the dragon would spare them. Then he took out the beer he brought as an apology gift. Just as the man expected, the dragon was indeed a heavy drinker. She immediately forgave them because of the beer. But first, the man had to tell her why the two of them were burned into ashes yesterday, and why they came back today without any injuries. The man did not hide anything. He told the dragon about his ability to travel through sleep. After hearing this, the dragon lowered her guard, and showed the man her eggs. While the elf and the man were amazed by the eggs, the dragon suddenly smelled the scent of food. Hearing this, the man took out the boxed lunch he brought. Knowing this was the smell she meant, he decided to give the boxed lunch to the dragon. However, for a dragon of this size, the food and beer were barely enough to touch her tongue, so she raised her head high, and spat out a golden mass. So this was how you transformed. Seeing the dragon's still charming human form, the man couldn't help but praise her. Hearing this, the dragon happily said she would not take his food for free. She decided to trade her scales for the boxed lunches, but the elf, who didn't understand dragon language, was completely confused. The man naturally had no objections. He originally planned to give them away for free. Now he could get a dragon scale for free. Only a fool would refuse. At that moment, the dragon choked while eating too quickly, so the man quickly handed her a beer. After taking a small sip, the dragon was instantly amazed by the taste. She had never tasted such delicious beer before. After learning the dragon traded scales for boxed lunches, the elf was extremely shocked, because this was something every mage would sacrifice their fortune to obtain. There had even been wars fought over dragon scales. At that moment, the dragon finished the boxed lunch in her hand. Seeing that the dragon still wanted more, the man had no choice but to take out another boxed lunch. Seeing their confused expressions, the dragon thought they were unwilling, so she took out a blue stone to trade with the man. Of course, this was not an ordinary stone. It was a stone stained with the dragon's blood from when she laid eggs. The elf was completely stunned. Then she urged the man to quickly trade the boxed lunch for the stone. After receiving the boxed lunch, the dragon opened the door, preparing to let the two leave, and told the man to bring 4 boxed lunches next time. After leaving, the elf finally recovered from her shock. She couldn't believe they got legendary dragon blood just by using boxed lunches, because this was said to cure all illnesses, because dragon scales and dragon blood were extremely valuable. The two decided not to sell them. After all, it would be troublesome if people asked where they came from. After leaving the dungeon, the two planned to go to town and get something to eat. After all the prepared boxed lunches were all eaten by the dragon, the man also asked the elf to find an inn, since he would return to the real world once he fell asleep.